Hello everyone, welcome back to Python's YouTube channel. We have our next question, which is convert this decimal numbers into Roman numbers. So we got one input here 153 and the expected output is CL3. So this is the representation in the Roman numbers. So I have already defined one function name here, number to the Roman. So what we will need to understand here is firstly, how do we write the Roman numbers? And if we take our decimal numbers, we will write any number using this 0 to 9 digits. But in case of Roman numerals, if we have to write any number, we have certain numbers representation that we need to understand first. So you need to remember these all representations. So mainly like to represent 1, we will use I here, and to represent 2, how do we represent 2 here? We will use 2 times I, the same I we will use twice. So that is till 3 we will use these same numbers. And if we have to write 4, first you need to know how do we represent 5 here. So 5 is using with we will write this 5, and 4 is 1 less than the 5. So one number, if we reduce it from the 5, we will get 4, right? So that we have reduced it. Here you need to understand, if we write any number on the left side, that would be like subtraction from the nearby value. Like the main value is v here, v represents 5. So you can understand like 5 minus 1 would be 4. That how do we write it? I and then v, because we know 5 will be represented by v, and to get the 4 we need to subtract it by 1. So that 1 we need to keep it on the left side. And if we have to get 10 here, you need to remember it will be represented with x, and for 50 we will use L. So mainly you need to remember, for 1 we will use I, and for 5 you will use V, and then for 10 we will use X, and for 50 we will use L, and then for 100 we will use C, and for 500 we will use D, and for 1000 we will use M. So these are the main numbers you need to remember. So this is the conversion from decimal values to Roman values. So you just have to remember these numbers so that you can get all the other numbers representation. So, and also you need to remember, if we are keeping any number that on the left side, that would be subtraction, and if we are keeping it on the right, it's opposite. Like we are just adding that. We are just adding, doing the addition here. If we write, if we want to get 6, how do we get? We know 5. How do we write that? So like 5 is v, and if we have to get the 6, we need to add 1 to that 5. So I will just keep that 1 on the right side. So that is how we will get the numbers. So these are the most nearest values you need to remember if you have to get any such sort of number. So if you are not aware of all these conversions, you can just remember these values. Some people are not aware of how do we represent these decimal numbers in Roman numbers. They are not aware of these characters. So that is the reason I'm just explaining here. So let me just write the code here. So here I have already defined one function, number to Roman, and I have already represented one dictionary Roman numbers. So these are the keys, which are decimal numbers, and values are the Roman numbers. So what do I need to do here? For each value and the symbol, let me take it as a symbol. So this is our value and this is the corresponding symbol. So for value comma symbol in Roman numbers dot items, because this is a dictionary here and I wanted to get value key and value, right? So here I just taken this value and this symbol. And now what do I do here? While this input number is greater than this value, then we will just have to take one results as an output. That will be a string here, results plus this symbol, and then we need to reduce that number by using the corresponding value we got, and at the end return the results. If we just write it here, we will get the answer. So let me just test the output. So I have given 153 here, and let me test it 150. What do we get 150 representation in Roman numbers? We have to convert this. For 100 we have C, and for 50 we already know L. So that's it. 150, this is the 150. So let me run it. I should get CL. So this is how it works. Let me explain what is happening in here. Like when we pass 153 as an input, we will get this 153 to this function as an input. 153 we got as a number, input number, and we have already initiated this dictionary as well as the results string to keep our output. So now here I am using for loop and then trying to get items, both key and value pairs. So for the first iteration, I will have value as 1000 and symbol as capital M. And it checks whether this 153 input number is greater than or equals to the value which is 1000. No, it is not greater than the 1000. And next it will go to the next iteration, which we where we have 900 as a value and CM as our symbol, and it checks whether this 153 is greater than or equals to 900 or not. No, it is not. And it go back to the next iteration. Here we will get 500 and D as our symbol, and it checks whether this 153 is greater than or equals to 500 or not. No, it is not. And so on, it will check till this 100. It takes this for 400 also, it won't get satisfied, and we will move on to the next key value pair, which is 100 and C. And it checks here like 153 is greater than or equals to 100 or not. Yes, it is. So then it comes inside and we will add that symbol to this results. So now results will hold C as a initial value, and now we have to reduce this number by 100. So we will have 53 in our number. And then it goes to, again it checks for the for loop. Again it checks still all these values, like it goes to the 90 here, 90, and then the symbol is XL, XE. So now it checks whether this 53 is greater than 90 or not. No, it is not greater than or equals to 90, and it comes to 50. And as a symbol we have L. So 53 is greater than 50 or not. Yes, it is. So already we have C in the results, and we have to concatenate that L to this results. So then it will become CL. Now we need to reduce this 53 by, in the next iteration, we have to reduce this 53 minus 50. Then we will have 3 as our number. Now it comes to this loop and it checks 40, 10 and 9, 5, 4, till here it will checks. So these all conditions will get failed for this number 3, and after that we will have 1 as a value, and the symbol would be I. It checks whether this 3 is greater than or equals to this value or not. Yes, it is equals to it is greater than or equals to 1. So now we will add that symbol I to this results, then it will become CLI, and again this number will become, for the next time it becomes 2, and it checks whether this 2 is greater than or equals to 1 or not. Yes, it is greater than or equals to the 1, and now number becomes 1, and again this while loop will check whether this 1 is greater than or equals to 1 or not. Yes, so this time we will concatenate the third I to this results. At the end we have results as CL triple I. So this is how we will convert the decimal numbers to the Roman numbers. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe to Python's YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Happy coding.